Hey everybody, thank you for joining us today on our Easy Vegan 123 video. Today's a special video. 2 days ago was our 3-year veganversary, right? So, yeah, congratulations, babe.
Congratulations.
Now,
Wait, why would you say congratulations?
I don't know, because that's what
Happy
you do.
anniversary!
Yeah, happy veganversary. So that's what you do, right? So we wanted to make a video just really quick, touching on some questions that I was kind of just quickly thinking about, and to kind of give you a little bit of an idea of kind of what it's been like for the past 3 years with us being vegan. And one of the first questions that I wrote down was, what were our biggest challenges? So Bianca, what would you say, if you want to kick that off, were some of our biggest challenges? What are you giggling about?
Because when we were talking about this, said, what's the biggest challenge? And I said, you. But in the sense that Boss didn't eat a lot of different foods, and I grew up with a more diverse diet. So it was cooking for stuff that we would both eat, because somebody was a little picky and didn't like to eat a lot of different vegetables, or none of the things that I liked, at least. So that kind of was a little bit of a challenge. It's not so much anymore. Like, you eat so many things now. It's so awesome. But that was definitely a challenge right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the second thing was Bianca had mentioned she didn't like to cook.
I hated cooking.
In the early stages. And on top of that, though, that kind of plays into that is, we've become better at that anyways. But yeah, she definitely didn't like cooking in the beginning. I didn't like cooking in the beginning. So that was a challenge for sure. What would you say the other one was here? I know you brought this one up.
People questioning why. Like, why did you go vegan? Are you still... And being asked to... I know I got off topic. That's me. You have to keep me focused. Is, are you still vegan? Why'd you go vegan? Why are you vegan? Why are you vegan? Oh, gosh.
Yeah, and I think even though that was a challenge for us, with people not understanding why, that's a good opportunity for, just educate people, that have a question. So if you're new to, the plant-based vegan world and you're getting these questions of, well, why did you do this? Or why are you choosing to go that way? Take that as an opportunity to just educate people, We're not preachy about it. That's not our style. But we do like just sharing our experience.
You're so positive. I was really annoyed. I was just like, for the love of everything, please stop asking me why I went vegan. But I have learned to use it as a learning tool now. And so, but it just, if you're like me and you just hate people asking you the same question over and over, and like Floss is far more patient than I am, then, just be prepared.
I would say for me, probably what I felt was one of the biggest challenges was, gatherings with friends and family. Because we don't have, like, when this kicked off for us, we were living in Texas, and none of our friends are vegan or even remotely close to it, which is fine. And our family, they're not vegan at all, and I think they didn't really understand our choices either. Nobody did really, and so that made it difficult.
There's going to be something coming up about that that's going to come on later down the list, but yeah.
Yes. So, again, the best thing to do in those scenarios is, and we're going to make more videos on this particular topic later, is just, plan for that. Plan for when you're going to get together with friends or family. But yeah, that was definitely, in my opinion, probably
there was never anything for us to eat, which was fine. And we just have learned to just eat before you go, or just take your own food. We usually do both. We eat something before we go, and then we take something to munch on, which we have to be careful, because then sometimes other people will say, oh, what's this? And then they'll eat it all, and then we're left with nothing.
Yeah. So
it's good. It means they like it, so.
Yeah, and we don't expect anybody to accommodate us if we go to their house or anything like that. If they do, that's great, Like, we had plenty of friends, back in Arizona, for example, when we moved to Arizona. They understood it, they got it, and we would be invited over, and they would actually make like a plant-based meal or something. I was like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. You didn't have to do that and go out of your way. But just know that, yes, that's definitely going to happen for sure. This was a big one when it came to shopping in the grocery stores. Was in the beginning is, just trying to understand labels. And like what was actually vegan.
A grocery trip would take us like 2 hours, because we read every box, and there are a lot of things that are very tricky looking, like they make it look like it's plant-based, it's all green, it looks neat, and it'll even say plant-based on there. It just means it has ingredients from plants, but it doesn't mean it's vegan.
Yeah.
So like casein is packed into a lot of things. Like there's an almond cheese out there that it looks vegan. We almost bought it and we flipped that sucker over and it's like, oh, casein. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
sneaky.
In a lot of places, you know, especially at like Sprouts, they have a section that's a plant-based frozen food section, right? Or like a refrigerated section. And I can't remember the brand, but it says plant-based. Well, when you read the label, it has eggs in it, right? So we don't eat eggs. So just becoming familiar with that. In the beginning, that was tough because we were reading everything.
And
It
some
took
brands
forever.
do have vegan options, and then they have their non-vegan options.
Yes.
And a lot of grocery stores mislabel things, and they'll put plant-based, and doesn't mean it's vegan. So just now we know the brands, and we're so used to like flipping the labels. So here's a trick: just scroll down to the allergens, and it'll tell you if it's got milk.
Yep.
That's like the biggest thing. So that helps a lot, save a lot of time. But at first, it took us forever to go grocery shopping.
Absolutely. Now this one I didn't even think of was as a challenge, but it was a challenge for us. Now I go back and think about it, was just having good resources in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know,
There's so many sites and different things, and now we know, like, we have people that we specifically like to follow, and we get a lot of good information from them. Like, for us, Dr. Greger, Dr. Michael Greger is a phenomenal resource, and his website, nutritionfacts.org, was really good. It's all backed by doctors. All the research on there is done by doctors, so I felt very confident in the information from there. But there's a lot of bad information as well, so it was just kind of figuring out the good sources versus the bad ones.
Exactly.
So.
Well, great. Let's move on to the next thing. You know, are we glad we stuck with it for 3 years? Obviously, you know, our lives, you know, other than just feeling better and having the positive health aspects to it, nothing's changed. You know, like we still, if we want to indulge ourselves, we still can eat pizza and burgers and hot dogs, all that stuff, you know, if we want to feel junky or whatever. But nothing has changed in our lives. We both still train in martial arts. We need to train a little bit more, you know, because we get a little bit lazy sometimes.
We
And,
get really lazy.
you know, we both work from home. We're in front of the computer all day. It's like, man, sometimes you just get unmotivated, I guess. But we still train, you know, still do kickboxing and Muay Thai. You know, if we can, we'd like to go to the local parks when the weather permits, you know. So nothing has changed in our lives other than just the health benefits.
Yeah, we still got to eat. We still go to people's houses. Well, pre-lockdown and quarantine and stuff like that. But yeah, so nothing's changed. So there's not a reason for us not to stick to it. Like, it's only been positive for us.
Yeah, so if you're thinking of going this way, you know, I mean, nothing. Your life isn't going to drastically change. Oh, I hope it doesn't anyways. You know, just live your life, you know, have fun and, you know, just be positive and be creative with what you put in your pie hole, I guess, you know, like, it's the best way I can, just have fun with it.
Well,
you know?
and one thing that's a little bit, like, we're not just vegan with diet, like, we live a vegan lifestyle, so there were just some challenges in that as well, just like, there are animal products in so many things that you would not even realize, just your everyday general household things can have animal products in it, and so that was part of the challenge. It wasn't just for the groceries, but just everything. Like, it's amazing. It's really hard to live a lifestyle without anything that's like 100, you know, that doesn't have any animal product anywhere. So
you do your best you can, for sure.
Yeah, we try.
The third question here that I came up with was, you know, have we influenced anybody in the past 3 years living this way? And you want to go with this, or you want me to take this one?
Go for it.
So I would say, I mean, I hope I've influenced people in the past 3 years. I think I have.
You've gotten a lot of people messaging you like, hey, what are some resources? I'm interested in being more plant-based. What do you recommend? So that means people are interested. And that's really important to us. Like, that makes us really happy. You know, we just want people to be open-minded to maybe giving it a try, or, you know, just eating more plants. And, hey, Google, stop.
Oh, that was our alarm. So yeah, you know, I think, you know, I'm never going to force, I mean, you know, I don't believe in forcing anybody to do anything they don't want to do. You know, that's just my own personal thing, you know. But I am about just sharing my experience, you know, offering a little bit of education and insight, and just being a good example, and trying to inspire people who are trying to make a positive change for themselves and, in the world in general, if that's what they want to do. So, yeah, I've had quite a few people reach out to me.
But whose life really changed?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Your dad. Your dad went plant-based.
Yeah, I forgot to mention
that
that.
was like the biggest thing.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. So my dad went plant-based. Now, is he perfect all the time? No, but he's pretty close to being perfect all the time.
I love that one time I think he ate some meat or something, and then he was like, oh, heck. So he went back and rewatched, like, What the Health or something. He's like, I got to get back on track. And, if you're somebody who's doesn't want to go completely, okay, that's your choice. That's fine, If you are vegan and you've made mistakes, it's okay. We've made mistakes and we've bought stuff and started eating. It was like, heck, this had casein or whatever in it. It had, we went to a friend's house for dinner and they tried to kill us with a she didn't really try to kill us. That's a joke. But, she didn't realize it had dairy in it. And we're like,
yeah, it's
this
like, man,
really kind of rich. And then we got like, oh.
That explosive trip to the bathroom later that night was awful. It was like.
But it happens, and that's okay. So, so when we had moved from Texas to Arizona, Bloss's dad came and lived with us, and I for me, like, the biggest thing is I don't have any meat products in my house or animal products in my house. So he ate the way we ate, and it's like, oh, this is really good. And he started feeling really good. He is a diabetic. And he started eating more the way that we ate and just started feeling much better and everything. So now he's kept up the lifestyle. And even though we've now left Arizona and he's still living there, he still keeps it up, that's really awesome.
Yeah, and that just proves that you're never too, quote, old, right? It's never too late to try it.
Yeah.
My dad's 73, and he's actually probably way more active than most people his age. I've never seen somebody.
He's more active than we are.
Yeah, he rides his bike every day, miles upon miles every day. He walks everywhere. He's in great shape. He's in great condition, and he's in good health. So that's been another great, big, positive influence that I've had or we've had. So that leads me to what have been the biggest benefits over the past 3 years. I'll let Bianca go first on this one.
Migraines. I used to get migraines. Gone. It's actually, I shouldn't say 100%. When we play like video games for 6 hours, that gives me a migraine. Sometimes when I've worked a 12-hour day at work and I've been in the computer, that starts to give me a little bit of a headache. Not even migraines anymore, but I got migraines, and so a lot of people don't realize this, but dairy is a high contributor to migraines.
Yeah,
so
if
you're a person who suffers severely from migraines, give it a try. 4 weeks, 1 entire month, 30 days, 0 dairy, no cheese, no. See if it helps. I think it's worth it because anybody who has migraines knows just how horrific they are. And I'm so glad not to have to deal with migraines anymore.
Yeah, and what's the culprit in that is the casein protein that's found in dairy. That's the culprit. That's what can contribute to migraines. So yeah, give it a shot if that's one of the things there. One of the things I will mention about Bianca. So before we were, living this vegan lifestyle, we were just like everybody else, just eating Omni, eating meat, steaks, and all this stuff. And there was a long while there where Bianca was, okay, so this goes kind of against what you're going to hear on a lot of other videos, but even though she was eating all the steaks and the meat and the chicken and this, that, and the other, she had a B12 deficiency.
It was severely deficient.
Yeah, so much so that I had to give her B12 shots in her thigh. Okay.
Every week.
Yeah, every week, which that was
It didn't do anything. Like, I had zero energy all the time. I just felt awful. Just like no energy whatsoever. Never wanted to do anything.
Yeah.
And so like the doctor that I went to was like, have more turmeric, have fish oil, do this. I'm going to give you B12 shots every week. And I didn't see any improvement at all.
Yeah.
And now that I've been vegan for 3 years, I very rarely supplement with B12. Maybe if I remember, I take it like once a week, and I've been feeling fantastic. So I don't feel like that was the issue with my Fatigue, I just think it was the diet itself. So I don't actually think that maybe I really was deficient. I think the doctor just thought that because
who
I was
knows?
so tired all the time.
She did do a full blood panel, and it did show that she needed.
No,
more.
there wasn't.
Was that
It
not
showed
it,
that I
or
had a
was
lot
that
of
something
inflammation in
different?
my body. I had a lot of inflammation. Had really high cholesterol. And I was really deficient in vitamin D, like a lot of people are.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, I mean, she's seen marked improvement in all of those things. You know, her skin looks a lot better even from back in those days. Heck, she's lost weight. You know, like how much overall you think?
about 30 pounds.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even like trying to, it was just a byproduct of changing our life. So now that came a lot later. Like our first year of being vegan, we did a lot of vegan junk food because it was easy. It was what we knew, right? We still have meals that were very similar to what we had, and we didn't have to do a lot of that cooking that neither one of us wanted to do. That either of us, one of us, you know what I'm trying to say. But after that year, once we started going and doing more like a 50-50 whole food plant-based diet and vegan diet, that really is when I started to lose weight and my skin cleared up a lot. And
Yeah. And I know this was a big one for Bianca. One that I noticed for when we were talking about this outside earlier is that I do know that the ethical side of it was important for her. And I know that she feels better about just making, you know, better choices that she can consciously feel good about. You know, and I know that's important to her. For me, some of the benefits were, you know, pre-vegan days, I had a lot of stomach issues. So much so that, I mean, we were getting really concerned that it's like, man, did I have Crohn's or IBS or something? I mean, we couldn't figure it out. And
it was horrific.
Yeah, and of course, being a typical, you know, I hate saying this, typical dude, I was being stubborn, didn't want to go to the doctor. And then some other life experiences happened. We made the decision to go vegan, and then boom, like all that stuff started just dissipating and kind of going away. So that's been a big thing for me. My energy levels are different. Like I used to, like before, I used to always want to like take a nap. So I was always tired and kind of
We just slept all the time.
sluggish. You know, I didn't want to do anything. Yeah, I
We
slept
spent
all
the weekends
time.
in bed, and they'd be like, "Oh, we didn't get anything done because we were just so tired."
Yeah. So you know, definitely a difference in just overall like how I felt, overall energy. One thing that both of us have noticed is, man, we don't get sick. I mean, I can't even remember the last time either one of us was sick, like with the cold or the flu. You know. Now, I will say, when we first moved to Arizona, I had like a sinus infection. You know. And I had to go to get that. No, I didn't go anywhere for that, did I?
It hit me first.
It hit you
just
first.
It was when we first got exposed to all the pollen from that mesquite tree.
That's right.
And we both just like whoop for like 2-3 days, and then we
Yeah.
were gone. But we never went to the doctor. We never took any kind of medication. We haven't. I personally haven't been to the doctor in like 5 years for anything. I don't go
Yeah.
to the doctor. I don't think there's anything wrong with going to the doctor. I just personally, I feel good.
Yeah.
Especially the past 3 years, you know.
Yeah, we just don't get sick, man. You
No.
know? So it's not like we avoid, you know, pre-COVID. It's not like we were like deliberately avoiding anybody. We just living our life like normal, and just not a thing that we experience. So knock on wood.
And you know
hopefully
what
that
else?
continues.
In
What's
3
that?
years, especially for you,
What?
allergies.
That's true.
Man, your allergies used to be so bad.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know what people tell you
Wow.
to take honey for your allergies. It's a pretty ridiculous notion. I apologize if you're a believer of that, but it doesn't work.
yeah, I've tried it. It's
it's-
hogwash.
I was gonna say hogwash.
Yeah.
But yeah, your allergies have basically just completely. I'm not gonna say completely evaporated because when it's really bad outside, that mesquite tree that we had just like shut in on us.
Yeah, but I don't really have near the allergy outbreaks that I
Oh
used to,
yeah,
that's
they
for
were
sure.
bad and really bad before.
I think one of the last benefits to living this way is that we both became just better cooks. We're more confident, you know, in the kitchen. We're more creative. You know, over 3 years we learned like what works and what doesn't, what
Yeah.
things we like and what things we don't, what spices and all that stuff. So we're a lot more creative. We have a lot more fun.
Spices.
Yeah.
That's been like I was like cardamom. What is cardamom?
Yeah.
I wish you buy it. It's like a $10 bag, but you have to buy it because I really wanted to try these blueberry cardamom muffins, and it was like I don't think I like this really expensive cardamom. But now I like it, and I'm like, babe, will you make those blueberry cardamom muffins? And You know, just
Yeah, I haven't
cooking
made
with
it in a
different
while.
things that ingredients I never heard of
Mm-hmm.
and tried, and you know, learning how to cook without oil it's really easy. Like people are
Yeah.
really scared, like, how do you cook without oil? The same way you put the food on the pan and it cooks. So,
Yeah, and we have some really good, cookware for the most part that does makes that a lot easier.
yeah.
So yeah, that was one of the last things that we wanted to talk about, and the reason why we're sharing this is because the last 3 years has been just a really great journey so far. You know what I mean? And I'm excited to see what the next 3 years, 5 years are going to be. And as you know, now we've started Easy Vegan 123, so we do appreciate you, following us, engaging with us. And if you're on YouTube, just make sure you subscribe, hit the little bell to get the notifications.
The video.
Yeah,
I don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Like the video.
Yeah, like
If
the
you're
video.
on one of the other social media channels, do us a favor, comment, share, like, all that stuff. Show us some love. We appreciate it. And we
Let us know what else you'd like to know about our vegan journey. Ask questions, and
Yeah.
that was how we asked a lot of questions, and we watched a lot of videos, and we're still learning things. So it's been a fun journey for sure.
Yeah, it's been
And I'm
awesome.
glad we did it together.
Yes, which makes it a lot easier.
So much easier when you
Which
have
we'll
someone to do.
talk more in greater detail about how to make the transition successful for yourself. So thanks again for joining us on our YouTube channel, and if you're on Facebook, thanks for joining us here. Peace out. Make it a great day, and we'll see you next time. Peace.